Oh, I did want to address the fact that I said I wanted this channel to be more feminine. And I failed to mention that with that comes a lot of ferocity. Good morning, everybody. Morning has broken. Here comes the sun. Oh, it's already here. I've been watching a lot of Adam Ellenboss's videos lately, and I saw someone comment in one of them, "Yes, we see your moose mug." I mean, why would Adam keep that to himself? Man, people need to stop judging personal expression and flagrant beverage ostentation. It's a necessary ingredient to a joyful life, and just come with us. Don't stay on that grouchy side. Come with us. Get a cool mug. I am not going to talk about how full moons totally F me up. I'm going to try to censor myself more. I don't like that I curse all the time, but I've had the same stuff that I want to say for years and years and years, and I've never felt listened to, and I'm just frustrated. It's like as much connection as you can feel within yourself to other beings, it doesn't exactly play out in reality. The disconnects always pop up, and it sucks. I feel like people just don't work to have a flexible form of love, like a flexible heart posture that can accommodate others in all of their cycles and mood swings, strangeness. I don't know. I mean, people are very complex beings, and that's not fun to face, because we could live very simply and very happily, but we have all these extra faculties which complicate everything. If we can just regard all of that as potential, like we have extra potential, that doesn't mean we have to realize it or we have to feel any pressure. It just means it's there if we want it. But otherwise, we can live a completely happy, terrestrial, little slow life. Anyway, I did want to talk about the terrestrial today. Eline asked me what the number 44 or 444 means to me. And I just happened to pull this card yesterday as well. And she asked me that question on 4/4, on April 4th. And drawing this card kind of takes what I would have talked about to a whole other level. I mean, I did say I wanted to talk about our mother wounds, or that we needed to just start thinking about those as human beings. Because I think that's where all the healing is really going to take place. If we heal the mother wound, then the father wound might naturally follow. All of our issues stem from not feeling loved, being torn from the womb, being torn from our source of comfort. Well, just our source. Our source of comfort, nutrition, everything. That's in every single being here on this planet. So the mother wound is central to all of our identities, really. So the number 4 by itself to me just means something stable, solid. 2 4s make 8, which is infinity, echoing back to source energy. Oh, also, I did want to address the fact that I said I wanted this channel to be more feminine. And I failed to mention that with that comes a lot of ferocity. So if we're still clinging to this idea that women are just sugar, spice, everything nice, and then the only spices we're allowed are cinnamon and nutmeg, then I don't know, maybe that's really what I want it to be too. Like, I never wanted to be spicy or even edgy. I am just very truthfully frustrated and tired. In the maiden, mother, crone, female archetypes, I'm in the mother stage of my life. I am not a mother, but it's like I went through this portal and the maiden was dead. Like, part of my spiritual emergency was almost like a ritual killing, like a slaying of my former self. It was actually pretty rad. And I don't think any woman should deny herself this archetypal journey. And I think we've really, really been robbed by our cultural shame towards our natures, our archetypal psychological structures. We don't have to be ashamed of any of this. This is like alchemical process. Consumer culture has tried to turn everything into a cheap product, but we are precious metal, and it is a metal journey. Like, Joanna Newsom was one of my favorite female artists, like one of the people that just called to this core femininity in me. And a lot of like men, metalhead men, can get into her. There's this experience of being a woman that is so fucking metal. It's insane. And I mean, it's what's making my life what it is. It's what's giving me all the joy. I've completely given up on finding joy within the context of relationship, like between men and women, because part of this journey is like the man goes through the red knight, the white knight, and then the black knight phase, and the woman is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. But in those two early phases, the men and the women are crisscrossed and more in conflict with one another than in harmony. And it isn't until that final stage, the black knight and the crone, that the male and the female archetypes are really harmonized and juicy and ripe. In a consumer culture which worships youth and lack of experience because it can be exploited, the prospect that I might be living this kind of journey is the most exciting thing. And it sucks for me now because here I am embarking on my mother years, and I'm like, I feel like I'm just going to be alone for the whole thing. But I won't be. If I can craft some kind of little boat for my voice to send out into the world, which I've failed to do my whole life. I've been writing my whole life in real hermit mode, and maybe someday all that shit will be relevant, because I'm a way better writer than I am video maker and fucking editor. Oh my god, the editing, I hate it so much. My only task right now is to stick with this channel. So if people come and go, I'm fine with it. Do what you want to do. Curate your social media space. If I don't belong there, just cut me out. I gotta say what I gotta say right now. Okay, mother, 44. Blah, 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 blah. Number 4 by itself is just structure, stability. 2 4s is the mother, eternity, source. 3 4s actually does represent to me this feminine and masculine thing, because the number 3 is the feminine, the multiplier, and there's 3 of the 4s, and the 4 would be the masculine, the structure for the mind, the body, and the spirit. When you have developed enough structure in all 3 of those zones, then you are a force to be reckoned with. I guess 444 really represents to me divine union. I've never even put any of this into terms for myself. Normally writing is that way in which I put things into words for myself. I just haven't been doing that lately because it is just so fucking hard to be a romantic in this era. And words put me in that space. I morph into some like 1800s, like take myself too seriously thing. Maiden. Yeah, I guess that went with killing my maiden self. It's writing. Because I was always writing to someone. Like I could not give up this concept of the twin flame because I have to be writing or speaking to someone. That's a big problem that I'm having with the videos. Avatars on a screen, I have a hard time feeling connected. Like, I do not form parasocial relationships. I do understand the hit we get, the little serotonin hit when we have a positive comment or whatever, but I also know that it is not lasting. It vanishes as quickly as that little buzz you get when you have a drag of a cigarette. I never was a full smoker, but I loved clove cigarettes for a time. I've actually had all of my vices taken from me. I cannot drink. My body reacts very badly to all forms of alcohol. Pretty much just everything makes me sick. Coffee is the one thing I have left, and I will fight for it, even if it's making me miserable. If it weren't for the F word and my love of it, I'd be a fucking saint. I'm also trying not to overgive. This is a big mother wound, daughter wound, woman wound. We give and give and give. And we manage lives. We manage multiple other people's lives on our own and expect nothing in return so often. And I know so many women who have completely given themselves away. My mother was one of them. She could never make any money or take any vacations or do anything luxurious or nice for herself because it was always all about animals or co-workers. And my grandmother passed away last year too, both grandma and mom in 2022. It was pretty much the worst year of my life. But you know what? This spiritual emergency that I'm referencing, it was a period of about 9 months of my mind being pretty gone. And at its most intense points, it was a meeting with death and the devil. And death I came to see as an angel. This angel that comes and sweeps the cobwebs out of this dense plane of existence. So if consciousness is webs, then when it's ready to move on, it kind of just breaks down like cobwebs in the corner of the house. And then this figure comes and just gently sweeps them away. It was a very feminine, very rainbowy force. And I miss death more than anything. Wherever my mom went, that's where I want to go. I don't feel that I miss my grandma and my mom. I feel that I miss wherever they went back to. And if what we're supposed to be doing here is anchoring in that beauty and grace, then just how do we get to that? We can't do it by shaming and judging and blaming the way things are. We first have to accept everything that is going on here and the entire trajectory thus far. And it's been hard for me to start this decan of Aries because I got some big conflict going on in me regarding Aries. It's my rising sign, and this energy within me as a woman is very wounded. It's an energy that is revered and respected in men, but hated and feared in women. It's also like my dad and my brother are both Aries. 2 of the 4 significant relationships in my life, the first and the most recent, have been with Aries men. And I have an issue with Aries men. It's a constant headbutting. Either we're headbutting or we're just not bringing up whatever would cause us to headbutt. And actually, that's why both of those relationships of mine worked, because I just let go of all of my passions. In high school, I just didn't know what my passions were yet. And then in my most recent relationship, yeah, I was not getting the mirror that I needed for a spiritual life. My only choice was to continue being alone or to try my hand at a relationship with someone who I saw eye to eye with intellectually and had a good heart, but was never going to go to the places spiritually and internally, emotionally, artistically that I wanted to go. I thought I could do it. I thought I could retain my sense of self, but I didn't. My only hope is to really anchor myself out here in some way so that, like, this is what I am. I haven't met that person that seems excited by my mind. And I need that. My quote of the day. Oh my gosh, I love these quotes of the day. Kurt Vonnegut's been hanging around in my head lately, and it's one of my favorites from him. Practicing an art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow, for heaven's sake. That's what we're supposed to be doing with art. And I lose hope with it because everyone's just looking for a fucking product. Like, I just want to make stupid shit that isn't good because I don't want any of this dumb social validation shit. I just want raw, like real, not exaggerated raw and realness just to be different. But, you know, we have this concept of the inner child, and we have an inner teenager too. So I think that's another thing I'm going to be talking about in the coming weeks is healing our inner teenager. All of that will to create a better world and Aries energy. I mean, teenagers are little shits. They really are. But we still have that in us. Angst and boredom and really like the beginnings of our feelings of exile, you know. Very socially sensitive, very rejection sensitive. Like, that has not even gone away in most human adults. I think I embody more of the superficial aspects of being a teenager, like pop music and just liking cool shit. But I'm an adult emotionally, and I relate on a mature level, which is why I'm alone, by the way. People don't want that shit. Yeah, man. People have really just thrown this adult suit on a teenager and child and gone out into the world and called it adulting. All to impress the father. We gotta leave, Mom. That's just the truth. We have to leave home. The ship has to leave the harbor. It has to get beaten up by storms. It has to almost drown. It has to blah, blah, blah. But it also has to return. Yeah, true stability is not a paternal thing. It's also maternal. And it's also eternal. Now I'm thinking like crown chakra, heart chakra, root chakra. Like these 3 points, which I guess look kind of like Christmas if you're seeing the crown chakra as white. Mystically, I relate a lot to Christianity. Even the simple, dumb little things like green and red. And I even see the chakra system as a lit tree with the crown at the top, the star. And the pineal gland is pine cones, of course. And real, like, spiritual vision is like being covered in 1,000 eyes. That Bible angel, like accurate biblical angel depiction seems very accurate, because in times that I have like really struggled with being grounded, it's because it felt like eyes were popping up all over me. And it wasn't like I had any kind of like literal 360-degree sight. The third eye is vision without vision. It's mind pictures, like just so vivid that it overrides the actual visual sensory input. So the whole time that I was hallucinating, I could still see regular reality, but the mind pictures were so intense that it completely overshadowed it. It's like I could switch back and forth. I could focus more on the external here if I wanted, but why? Anyway, I think the number 444 just means feeling at home, stabilized within your being, within your mind, body, spirit complex. The Merkaba has just synchronistically found me. I don't know anything about any religion, really. I know that I will always resonate with the mystical branch of any religion, but this Merkaba, it stands for mind, body, spirit. Merkaba. And maybe that's how I'm saying 444 is Merkaba. Mind, body, spirit. The feminine, 3, multiplied by the father, 4, is fully stabilized being, a fully lit Christmas tree, divine union. And that's all of us as the hermit. This looks like that little hermit's lamp, doesn't it? I think we all need to become the hermit.
All of man's problems arise because he cannot sit by himself in a room for 30 minutes alone.
The hermit has learned how to carry the light of being through the darkest times and knows how to be alone and knows how to face the elements. That needs to be a goal for each and every one of us. Well, this has been way too long. Thanks for sticking it out. Here is my mama in her adoption crib. I'm currently trying to manifest her in my life, reincarnated. If she wishes to suffer the planet Earth one more time, I would treat her like a golden child. Part of me thinks I could give birth to my own mother in this life. I think that would be so cool. If the divine is so all-powerful, and if we are so creative, co-creative with the divine, I don't know, man. The possibilities are infinite, right? Why do we limit our imaginations to just the terrestrial? When we know there is so much more than all of our heavy emotions and this dense planet and this dense body. Aries. I don't know. I'm going to keep experiencing life as magical, even if it's all by my own. Peace out.